As the season begins, the Featherington family return to London. Everyone wonders which newly minted debutante will shine the brightest. Francesca Bridgerton is very quiet despite making her season debut. To her, this is just another day. Her family is astonished to hear her playing the piano. Benedict reveals that Francesca is playing Mozart's funeral march. Colin is back from a tour around Europe and attracts the attention of so many girls. His family is stunned to see him as they greet him. Penelope watches him from afar. Colin's brothers question him about his adventures and wonder what he did to become so sturdy. Queen Charlotte watches all the season's debutantes being presented by their mothers, but she finds them dull until Francesca turns up with Violet. The Queen seems mesmerized with her. Meanwhile, Colin is shown flirting and winking at the girls in the room. Penelope watches as her sisters Philippa and Prudence, who married men without title, debate on whose wedding was the most beautiful. Portia Featherington reminds them that today they're returning to society in good standing and their finances in order. Mrs. Varley asks Portia whether anyone will believe that Aunt Petunia would have a fortune to leave to her. She warns Portia that the truth has a way of rearing its ugly head. A party is arranged in the Queen's honor, but the Queen hasn't picked a diamond nor appeared at the event. Penelope sees as Colin is chatting to some girls. She also sees as Eloise and Cressida are now friends. Later, Colin approaches her to check up on her. She compliments him for looking distinguished, then she walks away. Portia reveals that the last Lord Featherington wrote a document bequeathing the estate to her girls, just as soon as one of them produces an heir. She then tells Penelope how she is relieved to know that she will always be here to take care of her. At night, Penelope is unable to sleep, so the next day she pays Geneviève de la Croix a visit and tells her that she never wishes to see a citrus color ever again. She explains that she cannot live at home any longer and must take a husband. Colin wonders why Eloise isn't speaking to Penelope anymore, and she explains that they have simply grown apart. Besides, Lady Whistledown ruined her last season, and Eloise lost the battle, so she has no appetite for the war. Penelope bumps into Eloise and begs her to keep her secret. She apologizes about everything. She tries to explain that what she did was to protect her, but Eloise doesn't want to hear her. Mr. Dundas tells Will and his wife Alice that Alice's great-aunt, Lady Kent, has died and left their son Nicholas everything, so he will be the next Baron of Kent. Kate and the others attend Lady Danbury's ball that evening. Cressida comments that the season is off to a dull start. Penelope then walks into the room and takes off her cloak. Everyone is stunned to see her wearing a different dress and having a different hairstyle. Everyone stares at her, including Colin. Several men approach Penelope and compliment her dress, trying to get to know her better. Eloise feels bored when the girls at the ball talk about their interest in embroidery. She watches as Penelope struggles to converse with the men. Queen Charlotte notices Penelope and her gorgeous green dress. Lord Deblin approaches Penelope and the pair chats and laughs. Cressida steps on her dress on purpose and rips it. Eloise tries to apologize, but Penelope walks out. Colin checks up on her and tells her that he misses her. She confronts him, saying that he misses her but he'd never court her. She reveals that she overheard him at her mom's ball last season, telling everyone how he'd never court her. He asks her to talk somewhere more private, but she thinks that she embarrasses him, even when she changes her entire wardrobe. She adds that she never thought that he could be so cruel, then walks away. Penelope starts writing her next Lady Whistledown paper all about Colin. Mr. Dundas visits Portia. He explains that he is responsible for ensuring the lines of succession run smoothly within their great families. He wonders if the document is forged and promises to pay her another visit very soon. Eloise scolds Cressida for what she did to Penelope. She thinks it was cruel and unnecessary. Colin apologizes to Penelope about his callous comments. He assures her that he is not ashamed of her and compliments her, saying that she is clever, warm, and he is proud to call her his very good friend. Penelope confides in him that it's been vexing watching him walk back into society with such ease. He tells her that if a husband is what she seeks, he will give her lessons about charm. Penelope shakes his hand, and the pair are friends again. Lady Whistledown's new issue is released. Eloise reads it and tries to hide it from her brother, but he catches her and she explains that he's mentioned. Colin tells her that he doesn't care what Lady Whistledown writes about him, but he will never forgive her for nearly ruining Eloise last season. Eloise wonders if he knows who she might be, and Colin vows to ruin her life once he finds out.